All right, so now we're ready to work on our next spot. In this particular case, our spot here is Kool-Aid. It's a children's fruit drink. Now don't just think about children's fruit drinks and Kool-Aid in this. Gatorade, Powerade, anything that's a liquid that has added color to it. Adults use those too, you know, like sports drinks. So anything that's a spilled liquid that has added color to it. And we're going to go through our basic spotting procedures to see how effective we are. You ready to start? Let's get going. All right, the first thing we want to do is apply the spotting solution sparingly to the spot. And in this case, we have a big spill, so we're going to be using more solution than we normally would. But once again, we want to apply it from the outside of the spot towards the middle. So you see how I'm doing that? Putting it outside, and then I work my way into the middle. I'm just flowing enough solution to make sure that we have spotting solution across the entire spot. All right, we've done that. Now we're going to agitate it in with our spotting spatula. Just make sure that all our solution is where we want it to be and is not spreading out past the spot. Our next step is tamping. So as you can see, we are getting a lot of color transfer with our Spotmaster Pro, our basic first response spot solution. Now, as you can see the color transfer, we're ready to extract. As you can see, we got a lot of the spot out. We can see that on the towel where we got transfer, and it's lightened. But as you'll see, it's not gone. Now this is where we can stop and help understand the difference between a spot and a stain. By definition, a spot is something on the carpet that we can physically remove. A stain is something that has altered the dye, the color of the carpet itself. Now that we've used our basic spotting procedures, even though we got some out, we know that some remains. So we can define this now as a stain. So because of that, we're ready to go to our advanced stain treatment procedures. In this case, we know we're treating Kool-Aid. So we're ready to go to the steps that we need to do to finish removing the rest of this stain. Now the first rule of thumb in treating a stain is to make sure that we've gotten all of the first spotting solution out of the carpet that we applied. We don't want to mix two spotting solutions together. So if we want our stain removal treatment to work most effectively, we're going to extract this again just to make sure that we've got all of the spotting solution that we tried first completely out of the carpet. All right, now we're ready to begin our advanced stain removal procedures. Now, one of the things that we have to stop and think about here is the fact that when we go from a regular spotting solution to a stain removing solution, we are using a very strong chemical solution. In fact, it has some bleaching action to it. That's how we get the color out. Now keep in mind, we can't just use bleach to remove stains. True bleach will pull the color right out of the carpet. So this is a specially formulated, what we called earlier, reducing bleach. That's what we want to use on stains that are caused by color that was added to the original material. So before we proceed, we want to understand that we are doing this at a risk. There is a slight chance that we will pull some of the original color of the carpet itself. So before we proceed, we want to make sure that we have permission from the carpet owner to continue our treatment. Now we're ready to apply our stain removal solution. In this case, our Red Break 1. Once again, we apply it from the outside in, but we do apply it fairly liberally because we want to make sure that we don't miss any of the stain. Sometimes, right when you apply a stain removing solution like Red Break 1, you'll immediately see that it starts to eliminate some of the color. If that's the case, then you can go ahead and continue your tamping action. At this point though, we either are effectively removing the stain or we need to accelerate the spotting, the stain removal solution with heat. There's two ways that you can do that. Many cleaners use an iron. You basically take the stain solution, apply it to the towel, then you press down on an iron with the towel. You have to be very careful with that. You have to make sure that your cotton towel stays moist enough and that none of the parts of the iron touch the carpet. My preferred way to do this is with a wallpaper steamer. Wallpaper steamers use a low pressure, high volume steam. You do not want to use a steamer that does high pressure, like a cleaning steamer that some of you might have access to. In this case, you want to use a low pressure, high volume steam. So once again, we're going to apply the solution across the stain. In this case, we're going to take our wallpaper steamer. We're going to apply it over the spilled material, the stain, with our solution on, and we're going to leave it for 2 minutes. We're going to check every 2 minutes to see how we're doing. We can leave our steamer on there longer, but we want to check every 2 minutes to make sure that we're not pulling the original color of the carpet. Okay, it's been 2 minutes. We need to check and see how we're coming along. So we lift our steamer up, we check the area, and as you can see, we have effectively removed the remaining red material from the stain. We've eliminated the stain.